What is happening, and welcome to another Photography Talk episode, Photography Talk 130. And friends, the EOS R1 is expected to be released next year, and according to rumors, there may be a big surprise with this camera. Now, in other news, Nikon expects DSLRs to comprise very little portion of their profits in the coming years. So, does this mean that they're going to kill off their DSLRs? Now, we'll also talk about the iPhone 14 rumors that point to some big upgrades to the front-facing camera. Now, friends, all of these stories coming here in just a minute, but first, look, every single week, we put these videos together with these small little bite-sized little news nuggets to keep you informed as far as what is happening in the industry. Now, of course, if we are successful with this, friend, you know where I'm leaning with this. Please consider hitting that like button down below. It really does help with the whole YouTube algorithm. That said, let's get on to this week's news. Actually, before we get going with this week's headlines, I have a whoops to announce. Last week in my discussion with regards to the EOS R10, I said, unlike the R7, the EOS R10 doesn't have an electronic shutter, nor does it have IBIS. Friends, well, what I meant to say was, unlike the R7, the EOS R10 doesn't have weather sealing, nor does it have IBIS. I didn't realize the mistake till a few of you reached out to me and let me know, so apologies on that. With that correction out of the way, now let's get on to this week's headlines. Now, according to recent reports, Canon's new flagship mirrorless camera, the EOS R1, is on track to arrive sometime next year. Now, the official announcement for the camera could be made before the end of the year, though the likelihood seems pretty slim. Now, nevertheless, it's exciting stuff, but there's even more exciting news floating around the R1. Now, if rumors of the R1 are true, the R1 is going to have a 100 megapixel sensor, and that's a ton of megapixels. But it makes sense that Canon would unveil a ultra-high resolution professional camera. After all, when you factor in, look at Sony's A1 or the Nikon Z9. So if Canon wants to come in and make a big splash, they need to go all in with this here. And 100 megapixels, granted, for most people, they don't need it, but still, it's a big statement for Canon to make. Besides, by the time the R1 comes out, it will have been a very long time coming. So if Canon's going to make us wait for a flagship camera, or flagship mirrorless camera rather, they might as well crush it with ridiculous specs. Yeah, sounds like a good plan. Now, of course, the file size for the 100 megapixel camera would be absolutely huge. So if the R1 really does end up having a 100 megapixel sensor, well, you better put aside a few extra bucks to upgrade your computer as well. Now, of course, we're going to keep you guys updated with more details as they emerge on the R1. Recent report shows that Nikon has revised its future revenue predictions and that the company sees DSLRs being a much smaller portion of its revenues. Now, as of right now, mirrorless cameras make up just over 50% of its revenue for Nikon camera division. Now, DSLRs are about 30%, but apparently Nikon expects the mirrorless share to rise above 80% in the next 3 years. Meanwhile, the company sees DSLR revenues drop into just 4%. Yikes. Now, as photographers have been saying for years, the DSLR is dead. Well, maybe Nikon might be agreeing to this. Now, from a financial standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, after all, having two different systems, Nikon manufacturing processes are much more complicated. So by eliminating the DSLR from the mix, this is going to allow the company to really streamline its manufacturing and sales to maximize profits by focusing on just a mirrorless camera line. Now, another clue that Nikon might be ditching the DSLR sooner than later is in the news. The company wants to expand the Z-mount lens lineup to more than 50 lenses by 2025. Now, again, if they want to develop that many lenses, they need money, they need parts, and they need manufacturing assets to do so. So if DSLRs are out of the picture, Nikon, they're going to have a much more clear path to work with in the additions or making the additions to the Z-mount lens family. Of course, time will tell, so maybe Nikon will surprise us and hang on to DSLRs for a little bit longer. Now, if you are an iPhone user, get ready for a potential big upgrade. Now, if rumors are correct, the upcoming iPhone 14 front-facing camera will get some serious upgrades in kind of much upgraded or much needed upgrades at that as well. Now, reports suggest that Apple will begin using technology from LG in the iPhone 14 rather than the iPhone 15, which was originally thought. Now, this means that we'll potentially see 2 upgrades to the iPhone 14 selfie camera, autofocus and a larger aperture. Now, the news about the autofocus and larger aperture coming to the front-facing camera is not confirmed, so friends, this could change, but reliable sources have noted that these features are being planned and they might be other improvements to the camera as well. Now, there's no word whether or not the camera will get a boost in resolution or if the physical size of the sensor will increase, but these would be, of course, nice upgrades as well. Now, as with any rumor like this, friends, all we can do is wait to see what does and what doesn't pan out. Now, the announcement for the iPhone 14 should be coming somewhere around September timeframe, so we only have a few months to wait. All right, friends, that is the news for this week. So it's time to wrap up and talk about our current giveaway. We have 3 excellent prizes up for the grab this time. We have a Manfrotto Pro Light Reloader Air 55. We have a 128 gig SanDisk SD card, and of course, the old faithful $100 Adorama gift card. As always, entering the giveaway is really simple. Step 1, like this video, subscribe to our channel. Step 2, leave a comment below. In fact, the more of our videos that you watch and leave a comment on, the more chance that you have to win. So get watching some of our other videos and leave some comments. Step 3, register on PhotographyTalk and introduce yourself in the forum. Now, if you happen to register on the site already during one of the last giveaways, you're still eligible to win. But as I keep saying over and over again, swinging by, say hello, post some new photos. We would love to see you. And friend, that is it. For complete details on the giveaway, including how to register on PhotographyTalk or how to say hello in the forum, check out the description below. Good luck, and actually one last thing. If you enjoy this sort of content, be sure to head over to PhotographyTalk and sign up for an account. It's free to do so, and it gives you access to literally thousands of photography-related articles on the site, including news articles, articles on camera gear, photography tutorials, and much, much more. So take a moment, sign up for an account, and get access to material that, friend, will help you take your best shot. And there you go, friends. Photography Talk episode 130 is in the bag. As always, every single week, I love getting in front of you guys and having these little news reels and having this moment where you and I are just kind of jibber-jabbering. Well, actually, I'm doing all the jibber-jabbering, but it's great to have you here. Now, it's that time of the video where, friend, I'm going to ask you to do all that stuff that is very valuable to the channel. So please consider hitting that like button, subscribe button, and hit that bell so that every time that we come out with a new video like this, hey, you're going to get notified, and that's a good thing. Friends, I'm going to be jumping out of my studio here. That's all I have here for you today. So you get out there, stay healthy, and take your best shot.